The sleek research vessel, Stellar Observer, drifted silently through space, its sensors scanning the third planet of an unremarkable yellow star. Chief Xenobiologist Zexri stared at the readings on the holographic display, her four eyes widening in disbelief. She blinked her inner eyelids rapidly, a sign of extreme stress among her species. "This cannot be correct," she muttered, her translator converting her clicks and whistles into standard galactic common. "Run the planetary analysis again." The ship's AI complied, and the results remained unchanged. The planet below them showed characteristics that defied their classification system: extreme temperature variations, powerful storms, active tectonics, dangerous radiation levels, and an atmosphere containing corrosive oxygen in quantities that should make complex life impossible. At her research station in the SETI Institute, Lisa Martins noticed something unusual on her monitors. The young scientist had spent countless hours searching for signs of extraterrestrial life, but this signal was different. It wasn't the typical random noise from space. This pattern showed clear signs of artificial origin. "Hey, come look at this," she called to her colleague across the room. Her fingers flew across the keyboard as she tried to isolate the signal. The pattern repeated every 12.4 seconds, too regular to be natural. Meanwhile, aboard the Stellar Observer, Zexri called an emergency meeting with her research team. The small group of aliens gathered in the ship's conference room, their various appendages and sensory organs all focused on the holographic display of Earth. "My fellow researchers," Zexri began, her voice trembling slightly, "what we have discovered here goes beyond our understanding of habitable worlds. This planet exhibits conditions that exceed our highest danger classification of Class 12. The gravity alone should make complex life impossible, yet our scan shows signs of civilization." The room erupted in chittering and whistling as the researchers discussed this impossibility. One of them, a gas-filled being named Mril, floated forward. "But the readings show massive quantities of dihydrogen monoxide in liquid form on the surface. How could any species survive in such corrosive conditions?" Zexri displayed more data. "That's not all. The planet experiences regular geological upheavals, extreme weather patterns, and seasonal temperature swings that would kill most known species. And yet," she zoomed in on a city, showing buildings, vehicles, and tiny dots that were the planet's inhabitants moving about their daily lives. Back on Earth, Lisa had confirmed the signal's artificial nature and was now trying to determine its origin. The signal seemed to be coming from somewhere just beyond the moon's orbit. Her heart raced as she realized what this might mean. Humanity's first contact with an alien civilization might be happening right now. The Stellar Observer's crew continued their analysis, growing more astonished with each new discovery. They observed humans walking around without protective suits, building structures in areas with active tectonic activity, and living in regions with extreme temperature variations. "We need to create a new classification," Zexri decided. "This world goes beyond anything in our database. I hereby designate this planet as Class 13, the first of its kind." As she filed her report to the Galactic Federation Council, Lisa was making her own report to her supervisors. Neither knew it yet, but their discoveries would forever change both their civilizations. The humans would learn they lived on what the galaxy considered a death trap, while the galactic community would have to face the existence of a species that treated such deadly conditions as normal. Zexri took one last look at the blue planet below. "To think," she whispered to herself, "there are beings down there who consider this nightmare world home." She sent out a first contact protocol request to the Federation Council, knowing this discovery would send shockwaves through the galaxy. The day that would change humanity's understanding of its place in the universe had begun, and neither Lisa Martins nor the alien researchers above could predict the incredible events their discoveries would set in motion. The Galactic Federation Council chamber buzzed with nervous energy. Representatives from over 300 species gathered for an emergency session. The massive room, designed to accommodate beings of all sizes and environmental needs, was filled to capacity. Some members floated in gas chambers, while others sat in liquid tanks or on traditional seats. High Counselor Vrenfar, a tall, crystalline being, called the session to order. We have gathered today to discuss the discovery of a Class 13 world with a spacefaring civilization. This is unprecedented. On Earth, Commander John Phillips stood in front of a mirror, adjusting his uniform. As the head of Earth Defense Force's First Contact Division, he had trained for this moment his entire career. Yet nothing could have prepared him for the reality of meeting actual aliens. "The delegation will arrive in 30 minutes, sir," his assistant informed him. The world's governments had agreed to host the first meeting at a specially prepared facility in Geneva. Back in the council chamber, the debate grew heated. "We cannot allow contact," declared one representative, their bioluminescent patches flashing with anxiety. "These beings evolved on a death world. They could be incredibly dangerous. But they've achieved spaceflight without destroying themselves," another counselor argued. "That shows remarkable restraint and intelligence." Ambassador Zixtel, chosen as the head of the contact mission, listened carefully. As a veteran diplomat, she knew this first meeting would shape relations for centuries to come. At the Geneva facility, Commander Phillips watched as the alien ship descended from the sky. It was beautiful, all curved lines and shimmering metal. The ship landed in a specially cleared area, surrounded by military and civilian leaders from Earth's major nations. The ship's door opened with a soft hiss. Ambassador Zixtal emerged, wearing what humans would later learn was a heavily reinforced environmental suit. She was followed by her delegation, each member protected by similar gear. "Welcome to Earth," Commander Phillips said clearly, following the practiced greeting. "We come in peace and friendship." The aliens stopped suddenly. Through their translators came sounds of surprise. You're not wearing protective gear?" Zixtal asked, her voice filled with shock. Phillips looked confused. "No, these are our normal clothes." "Is something wrong?" The alien delegation huddled together, speaking quickly in their own languages. Finally, Zixtal stepped forward again. "We were not prepared for this. You survive in these conditions, naturally." "Yes," Phillips replied, still confused. "These are perfect conditions for humans." "Is that unusual?" "Perfect conditions," one of the alien scientists whispered. "The gravity here would crush most species. The oxygen levels are toxic. The atmospheric pressure alone." The meeting continued inside the facility, where the aliens insisted on staying in their suits. They watched in amazement as humans casually drank water, a substance they considered dangerously corrosive. "Your world," Zixtal explained carefully, "is what we call a Class 13 death world. Before discovering Earth, our highest classification was Class 12. Your planet is more extreme than any known inhabited world." Phillips listened as they explained how humans had evolved in conditions that would kill most alien species instantly. The high gravity had given humans dense bones and strong muscles. The oxygen-rich atmosphere, which would poison most species, powered their high-energy bodies. "So we're basically Space Orcs," one of the younger officers whispered, earning a stern look from Phillips. As the first day of contact drew to a close, both sides had learned remarkable things. The aliens discovered that what they considered survival suits, humans saw as normal clothing. Humans learned that their normal world was the most extreme planet known to support life. Ambassador Zixtal made her final notes of the day. "These humans don't just survive in Class 13 conditions. They thrive in them. The galaxy must prepare for some major changes." Susan Wright sat in the main conference room of the United Nations building, trying to process the information on the screen before her. As Earth's chief diplomatic advisor, she had expected first contact to bring surprises, but nothing like this. Ambassador Zixtal stood at the front of the room, her environmental suit gleaming under the lights. The holographic display behind her showed a comparison between Earth and other inhabited worlds in the galaxy. "As you can see," Zixtal explained, her translator working smoothly, Most civilized worlds fall between Class 3 and Class 8. These planets have stable temperatures, low gravity, and minimal geological activity. A murmur ran through the room as Earth's statistics appeared on screen. The numbers were far outside the normal range. Earth's gravity was 3 times stronger than most inhabited worlds. Its temperature swings were considered extreme. Its oxygen levels were listed as toxic for most species. "How do other species live?" asked Peter Chen, one of the scientists present. "What's normal for them?" Zixtal displayed an image of a typical Class 5 world. Most species prefer gravity about 1/3 of Earth's. Temperatures stay within a 10-degree range. Atmospheres contain very little free oxygen, which most species consider poisonous. The human delegates looked at each other. What they had always thought of as perfect conditions were actually extreme by galactic standards. Their world, their home, was considered the most dangerous known inhabited planet in the galaxy. "Let me show you something," Susan said, standing up. "I think it might help explain humans better." She walked to the window and opened it, letting in a warm spring breeze. The alien delegation jumped back in alarm. "You just exposed us to your atmosphere," one of the alien scientists exclaimed. "Don't worry," Susan smiled. "Our atmosphere won't get through your suits. But this is how we live. We enjoy fresh air. We walk in the rain. We swim in the oceans. This is normal for us." The aliens watched in fascination as she explained more about daily human life. They were shocked to learn that humans regularly endured temperature changes of 20 degrees or more. The fact that humans played sports in Earth's crushing gravity amazed them. "There's more," Zixtal said, changing the display. "Your species' endurance is unprecedented. Most beings can run for only a few minutes. You can run for hours. You recover from injuries that would kill others. You eat things that would poison most species." The meeting continued as both sides shared more information. The humans learned that their ability to sweat and regulate body temperature was unique. Their endurance hunting technique was considered terrifying. Even their diet was extreme. They could eat foods that would be lethal to most alien species. This explains why we found no signs of advanced alien life before. Linda Baker, another scientist, realized. "We were looking for life that could survive in Earth-like conditions, but those conditions are deadly to most species." As the day went on, the implications became clear. Humans weren't just tough by galactic standards. They were practically superhuman. Their Class 13 world had shaped them into something unique in the galaxy. "There's one more thing," Zixtal said near the end of the meeting. "Your species has something we rarely see. You actively seek out challenges. You climb mountains because they're there. You explore dangerous places just to see what's there. This combination of physical capability and adventurous spirit makes you unique." Susan looked at her fellow humans, seeing the pride in their faces. They had just learned they were the tough guys of the galaxy. Earth wasn't just their home. It was a forge that had made them into something extraordinary. "So," Susan asked, "what happens now?" Zixtal's translator conveyed what humans would learn was an expression of excitement. Now we begin to see just what humanity can offer to the galaxy. And I think it's going to be quite remarkable." Kevin Foster couldn't help but smile as he watched Creela, the alien anthropologist, stare in horror at his lunch. The small blue-skinned alien was recording everything through her environmental suit sensors, taking notes about human eating habits. "You willingly put this burning substance in your mouth?" Creela asked, her translator struggling to convey her mix of fear and fascination. Kevin had just taken a bite of his spicy chicken sandwich. "It's not that hot," he explained, taking another bite. "This is actually pretty mild. You should see what some people eat." He pointed to his colleague at the next table, who was happily eating ghost pepper wings. The Federation had sent Creela to study human behavior and resilience. After 2 weeks on Earth, she still couldn't believe half the things she saw. Today, she was following Kevin through his normal daily routine at the research center. In the past 2 weeks, Creela said, checking her notes. I've seen humans jump out of flying vehicles for fun, lift heavy weights in high gravity for entertainment, and now purposely eat burning chemicals. How does your species survive? Kevin laughed. That's just normal stuff. We haven't even gotten to extreme sports yet. Later that day, they watched a group of children playing in a park. The alien researcher was amazed by their activity level in Earth's gravity. The children ran, jumped, and climbed without showing any signs of distress. Our young must be kept in low-gravity chambers until maturity, Creela explained. Their bones would collapse under this pressure, yet your younglings seemed to enjoy it. The afternoon brought more surprises. Kevin took Creela to a construction site where humans were building a new research facility. Workers moved heavy materials and operated large machines in what aliens considered lethal conditions. No protective bubbles. Creela asked, watching a worker carry a heavy beam. No gravity reducers. Nope, Kevin replied. Just hard hats and safety boots. Though we do have forklifts for the really heavy stuff. Videos of human activities have become popular across the galaxy. Alien species watched in amazement as humans did things they considered impossible. Rock climbing, deep-sea diving, and even cooking shows had gained huge audiences. A group of alien tourists stood at a safe distance, watching through their protective suits as a human yoga class exercised in the park. They recorded everything, amazed by the humans' flexibility and strength in Earth's crushing gravity. Your people do this for relaxation? One tourist asked Kevin. Yeah, it helps reduce stress, he explained, trying not to laugh at their shocked reactions. Creela's research was causing quite a stir in the Federation. Her reports showed that humans didn't just survive in extreme conditions, they actively sought them out. They created spicy food because they enjoyed it. They invented sports that pushed their physical limits. They worked in conditions that would kill most species. That evening, Kevin took Creela to a local restaurant. She watched from behind her protective screen as humans ate different foods, drank various liquids, and socialized in what her species considered a death zone. I think I'm starting to understand, she said, making more notes. Your species doesn't just adapt to challenges, you create them. You make things harder on purpose. Life's more interesting that way, Kevin replied, adding hot sauce to his food. Speaking of which, want to watch a hockey game tomorrow? It's a sport played on frozen water where people chase a small disc and sometimes get into fights. Creela's recording device made a sound that Kevin had learned meant she was both terrified and excited. Frozen water. Voluntary combat. Yes, I must document this. As they left the restaurant, Kevin noticed more alien tourists arriving. Earth had become the galaxy's most exotic destination. Aliens came to see the Deathworld and its incredible inhabitants who called it home. Just wait until they discover roller coasters, Kevin thought with a grin. The cultural exchange was just beginning. Captain Mary Thompson stood on the bridge of the Earth ship, resilient, reading the latest reports with growing concern. The Vrake's Dominion, a powerful alien empire, had been spreading rumors about the dangers of allowing humans into the galactic community. They're calling us monsters, her first officer said, showing her another message on his tablet. They say we're too dangerous to be allowed free travel in the galaxy. Mary understood their fear. In the 6 months since first contact, humans had proved they could do things other species couldn't. They could survive in environments that killed others. They could fight longer, work harder, and endure more pain than any known species. Captain, the ship's communication officer called out, "We're getting a distress signal from the Federation colony on Proxima IV." The Vrakes had hoped to force Earth into isolation through political pressure. They hadn't expected what happened next. "Put it on screen," Mary ordered. The message showed a Federation colony in crisis. A massive earthquake had damaged their environmental domes. The atmosphere was leaking out. Thousands of aliens would die without help. How long to reach them at full speed? Mary asked. 3 hours, Captain. But the radiation levels there are lethal to most species. Even the rescue teams can't survive those conditions. Mary smiled. But we can. Send a message to the colony. Tell them help is coming. The Resilient raced through space. Inside, the crew prepared for rescue operations. Unlike other species, humans could work in the damaged domes without heavy protection. Their bodies could handle the radiation for short periods. The Vrakes have ships closer to the colony, someone pointed out. But they say conditions are too dangerous for a rescue. Then they'll see what humans can do, Mary replied. Prepare the rescue teams. When they reached Proxima IV, the situation was worse than expected. The ground still shook with aftershocks. Radiation levels were rising. The colony's protective domes were nearly empty of air. The human rescue teams went in wearing only light protection suits. While other species needed full environmental suits, humans could move faster with less gear. They carried spare air tanks and emergency patches for the domes. How can they work in these conditions? A Federation observer asked, watching from a safe distance. The gravity, the radiation, the toxic atmosphere. Hour after hour, the humans worked. They fixed the worst leaks. They rescued trapped colonists. They carried supplies through conditions that would kill most species in minutes. Other ships arrived but stayed back, unable to help. They watched as the humans did what they thought impossible. The Resilience crew worked until every colonist was safe and the domes were stable. Later, in the Federation Council, the Vrakes ambassadors stood to speak against Earth again, but now other species stood up to defend humanity. The humans you call dangerous just saved thousands of lives, one counselor said. While your ships watched, they went into death conditions to help others. Mary received a message from Earth Command about the council meeting. The Vrakes' plan had failed. Instead of fearing humanity's strength, the galaxy now saw it as a gift. The Vrakes don't understand, she told her crew. Being strong doesn't make us monsters. It means we can help when others can't. The crisis had changed how the galaxy saw humans. Yes, they were tough. Yes, they were strong. But they used that strength to help others. Send a message to Earth Command, Mary ordered. Tell them the Resilient is ready for our next mission. Wherever we're needed, we'll be there. The day's events would be remembered as the turning point. The galaxy learned that having a species from a Class 13 Deathworld wasn't a threat. It was a blessing. Sometimes, you needed someone tough enough to go where others couldn't. Daniel Wright stood in front of the massive window of the new Galactic Embassy on Earth, watching aliens and humans work together in the garden below. As the lead architect for multi-species buildings, he had created something unique, a place where both humans and aliens could live and work comfortably. The design is remarkable, Ambassador Zixtel said, standing safely in her environmental suit. One half maintains Earth conditions for humans, while the other half provides safe environments for different species. Yet they can still interact through these special windows and meeting rooms. Daniel nodded, proud of his work. We learned a lot from building this place. Now we're helping other worlds create similar buildings. Humans can work in conditions that would kill others, so we do the dangerous construction work. In the year since the Proxima IV rescue, humans had found their place in the galaxy. Their ability to survive in extreme conditions made them perfect for certain jobs. They became the galaxy's rescue workers, construction crews, and disaster response teams. Another Federation ship requested human crew members. An aide reported, bringing Daniel a tablet. They want people who can work outside the ship during emergencies. Humans now served on most Federation ships. While other species needed complex protection to work in space, humans could handle it better. They could work longer in spacesuits and survive higher radiation levels. In another part of the building, Linda Cole led a training session for alien emergency workers. She showed them how humans handled dangerous situations. The aliens watched from behind protective screens as she demonstrated rescue techniques. Remember, she explained, in an emergency, call for human help if conditions are too extreme. We can survive long enough to save people from situations that would kill most species instantly. The Federation had created special teams of human workers. They called them Deathworlders, but now it was a title of respect. These teams handled the most dangerous jobs in the galaxy. Outside the embassy, a group of alien tourists watched a human construction crew building a new wing. The workers lifted heavy materials in Earth's gravity, something that amazed other species. "Look how they move those metal beams," one tourist said. "No gravity reducers, no power suits, just their natural strength." Daniel walked through the embassy, checking on different projects. In one room, human scientists worked with alien researchers to study Earth life. They wanted to understand how Earth's creatures survived in such harsh conditions. "Your Earth insects are incredible," an alien scientist told him. "They survive conditions that would kill most advanced species, and your Earth plants grow in solid ground, not liquid nutrients." The integration of humans into galactic society had changed things for everyone. Humans learned about advanced alien technology. Aliens learned about human endurance and strength. Together, they made the galaxy a safer place. "We're planning the first human colony on a Class 10 world," Daniel told the ambassador. "Other species think it's too dangerous, but for us, it's easier than living on Earth." The news excited Zixtal. "You could help colonize worlds we thought were too hostile for any life. This could change everything." In the embassy's medical wing, human doctors worked with alien medical teams. They studied how humans healed so quickly, hoping to help other species become stronger. "Humans don't just survive," a Federation doctor said. "They adapt and grow stronger from challenges. We never saw anything like this before." As the day ended, Daniel looked at his plans for the next building project. Humans would construct safe havens on dangerous worlds. They would help explore places others feared to go. Their strength would make the galaxy a better place for everyone. From feared Deathworlders to valued allies, he thought. Not bad for a species from a Class 13 world. Dr. Patricia Anderson walked through the halls of the new Deathworld Research Institute, smiling at the mix of humans and aliens working together. 2 years had passed since Earth's discovery by the galaxy, and things had changed in ways no one expected. "The latest test results are amazing," her assistant said, showing her a tablet. "The plants from Earth are helping terraform worlds we thought would never support life. Even the simple Earth bacteria are changing entire planets." The Institute had become the galaxy's center for studying extreme environments. Scientists from hundreds of worlds came to learn how Earth life survived in such harsh conditions. They studied everything from Earth's smallest bacteria to its largest animals. Dr. Anderson called out a young alien researcher safely inside the protective suit. "We found something incredible in the human blood samples. Their healing ability isn't just fast, it actually gets better with each injury." Patricia nodded, remembering how surprised the galaxy had been to learn about human healing. While other species got weaker after injuries, humans often grew stronger. Their bones became harder after breaks. Their muscles grew stronger after damage. In another part of the building, human teachers helped alien species learn to survive in tougher conditions. They couldn't match human strength, but they could learn to handle more than they thought possible. "Small steps," a human instructor told his alien students. "Today we'll try walking in 1.2 times your normal gravity. Next week, we'll try 1.3 times. The Federation had changed its views on what was possible. Before finding Earth, they thought no one could live on worlds harsher than Class 8. Now, with human help, they were settling Class 10 and 11 worlds. "We're ready to test the new environmental suit," an engineer reported to Patricia. "We copy how human bodies handle stress. It should help other species work in tougher conditions." The Institute had also become a place where humans learned their own strength. Growing up on Earth, they never knew they were special. Now they understood why they could do things others couldn't. "Watch this," a human scientist said to his alien colleagues. He lifted a weight that would crush most species. "This is normal for us, but it's helping us design better tools for everyone. In the Institute's main hall, Patricia looked at the big screen showing their current projects. Humans were helping build colonies on worlds others feared. They were exploring deep space where radiation would kill most species. They were diving into alien oceans that would crush normal ships. "We got another request from the Federation survey team," her assistant said. "They want human volunteers to explore a Class 12 world. They say only we can handle the conditions." Patricia remembered how afraid the galaxy had been of humans at first. They thought Earth's tough conditions would make humans violent and dangerous. Instead, humans had become the galaxy's protective older siblings, strong enough to help when things got tough. "The Federation Council approved our new research program," another scientist reported. "They want to know if other species can be slowly adapted to handle tougher conditions, like humans do." As the day ended, Patricia stood in the Institute's observation room, watching Earth's sunset. Alien tourists in their protective suits stood nearby, amazed by the view of this legendary Deathworld. "2 years ago, we thought we were alone in the galaxy," she thought. "Now we're helping the galaxy grow stronger. Not bad for a bunch of Deathworlders." The Institute's lights came on as darkness fell. Inside, humans and aliens worked together, learning from each other. They were creating a future where the galaxy's different species could help each other grow and adapt. Earth's Class 13 status had stopped being a warning label. Now it was a badge of honor, proof that life could thrive in the harshest conditions. And humans, the children of this death world, were ready to help the galaxy face whatever challenges waited in the vast darkness of space.